Got sound, action. We got anything here? Anybody? Let's see. I am. All right. Hello. Just so you know, it's our second week in a row. We're live on Facebook Live and on Instagram simultaneously. It is exciting. I'm trying to read what's written there under there. Telling your father. All right, cool. I like to hear that. All right. Change your life, folks. Recovery isn't just about quitting drinking. It's also about creating a new life where it's much easier not to drink. When your life changes for the better, your drinking habit will no longer have a place in it. There's a lot of truth in that statement, everyone. There's a lot of truth in that. So obviously, we're going to talk about alcohol again today. It is 4/2/24. It's April with Happy Hour with Brian. We're live here. We're live on Instagram. Follow, like, share, love, send some stars, everybody. No one sends me no stars. I don't know why. I work hard at this. I don't get no stars. Oh, well. All right. Personal note. I've been sober 15 years. Every April is my anniversary. I am on 15 years of sobriety. Never cheated, never fell off, nothing. I went to detox, followed by in-house treatment for 6 weeks. I came out, I did the long, hard battle, and I am still sober to this day. I'm here to share my experiences with that, my insights on it, and how I did it, why I did it, how I feel about it, all that, all right? There's some complications with it. I suffered from PTSD. I'm a combat veteran. I believe that led to a lot of my hard drinking. With the PTSD and with my alcohol, I became very depressed. I dealt with that. I am proud to announce to you, I am no longer an alcoholic. Notice how I word that. Some other places don't word it that way. I am no longer an alcoholic. I live with PTSD. I'm not haunted by it anymore. And I don't suffer from depression. I own my own business. I have a good life. I have a good relationship with my family, my granddaughter, everyone. Things are going well in my life. I'm trying to make them weller by advancing on this and helping some other people find the happiness and this good spot I found. Life's a struggle, folks. It ain't easy. I mean, there's no magic wand. Life ain't easy, but we just got to make the best of it. We got to do what we got to do, right? I made life so hard for so long for so many people. I'm still a little haunted by that. And that's hard stuff to deal with, all right? So that's what we're talking about. But I just wanted to throw out there that April is my 15 years sobriety story. My anniversary date. I don't know, I was just having a flashback about sucks, being an alcoholic and the hardships. But I don't think I'll get into that right now because I kind of not focused on it. I had a vision of a story there, and I know we like stories, but that's okay. So, all right, I'll try and see if anyone writes me or anything. I'll try and acknowledge that, okay? But if I miss it, I miss it. I'm going to try and keep flowing a little better, keep it going. So that's what I'm going to do. So even if you got to write me a couple times, if you got a question, I got an iPad set up right here where hopefully I see if you write something. And if you got a question, I love questions. I love comments. So any of that certainly is welcome. So please do that. All right. So I already told you you got to watch some of my other live streams. I don't want to repeat all the time. So obviously, I was an alcoholic. So when I decided, and some people helped persuade me that I needed help, just to say this again, I've said it 100 times, but I didn't go to treatment for all the right reasons when I went. I went because I was basically out of money. I was probably about to be homeless. The woman I loved was sick of me. My life was not going well, and I felt like a cat in a corner, and this seemed like a way to buy a little time. So, don't think I'm a hero. I've done all the right things, folks. I haven't. I haven't. And I'm here to share them experiences and my thoughts and my feelings on that, okay? So anyway, I went to detox. I was in detox for 3 days. From detox, I moved directly the same place. I went to the VA for help because I'm a veteran. And I went right to in-house treatment. Okay, that's what I did. 6 weeks. I didn't cheat. I didn't get in trouble. I did it. I didn't know I was going to do it all when it started, but I paid attention. I listened. I went to my classes. I met some friends also trying to find help and recover from different addictions, mainly alcohol, a group I was in. And I stuck with it. I thought, what can this hurt? Obviously, my life is not going well. I mean, I knew that. We know that as alcoholics. You know, we know that. It's funny that we fight it for so long and claim it's not us with the problem. It's you with the problem with me, not me. No, we have the problem. I've said this 100 times too, and you need to learn it. It's the I word. You need to learn to say I. Okay? You need to do that. All right, so what I want to talk to you today is about when you have made that giant move in your life to get help. Okay? So now let's fast forward a little bit. You're going to get help. I recommend you go to detox. I recommend you go to in-house treatment. That's just my recommendation, okay? However you become sober is good. But this is how I did it, so this is how I share it. So go to detox, go to in-house treatment. Then we enter into what Brian calls the la-la stage, all right? You don't know if you're sober, you don't know if you want to be an alcoholic, you don't know if you're happy, you don't know if you're mad, you're not sure about a whole lot of shit in your life. That's the la-la stage. The la-la stage sucks. And the la-la stage is where lots and lots of people give in, give up, say the heck with it. If you think this is going to be easy and quick, you're in for a surprise, folks. It's not. It's not at all. All of it is a battle. And what I've got laid out to discuss today is years. Yeah, I said it, years. So it's the first thing you should learn. I think if I would have listened, I'm not sure I would have, but going into all this, maybe it would have been a hair simpler if someone would have shared with me actually how long recovery is. Because for some reason, I just thought I could go to detox and this treatment program and I'd come out just skipping la, 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 be all happy. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works at all. It's much tougher than that. It takes some help. It takes some knowledge, and most of all, it takes some serious discipline, okay? You have to do it. You have to. And it's a fight. A lot of people cave, all right? So buckle up. This lesson isn't for babies. This is for the one who wants to heal, to recover, to live better, and live longer. So I'm able to so easily talk about this now because I'm that type and I'm at that point in my recovery, okay? I've said this before in other live streams. I think my life could go all to hell right now. Bad shit could happen. I don't want it to happen. I pray it doesn't happen. But let's just say a bunch of bad things all at one time happen. Just I can't get a break. Everything's going to heck, right? I am 99.9% sure, if not a little more than that I would not go back to drinking. I don't believe I would. Because I know what all them years of drinking did to me and cost me. I know that. That is a known, okay? There's a lot of ways in life we can help each other by realizing the simple things. The simple things is knowing what you know. If you know something, it's easy to do it again or not do that again, right? Right, it is. So learn from our mistakes, all right? Everyone makes mistakes. It's okay. It is okay. Right? Now, that's not to say some shit we did while we were alcoholics is okay, but it's okay to deal with it, all right? You can move on. You can ask for forgiveness. You can earn all your trust and love back. I did it, folks. You can do it. And the ones that don't want nothing to do with you, that's fine. That's fine. Let them go. You're going to have to let a lot of people go to get sober anyway. Trust me on that one. There's the other biggest reason people fail, because they can't give up their alcoholic friends. They can't move on. Their alcoholic friends can't move on that you're not drinking. Oh no. But once you find your people, and you find the people that really matter in your life, they could care less that you're not drinking. That's the beauty of it. People could care less. It took me a long time to learn that. I know it sounds silly, but it's the truth, all right? It's the truth. Okay, so what I've done is I painstakingly kind of went over a long article that I'm going to save you the pain from reading. And after I got done reading it, I agreed with a lot of stuff in there. But I broke it down to 4 stages that I feel I have so much to talk about. I don't know if we can get through all 4 today, okay? I had 2 subject matters today, not really subject, but 2 different angles on this today. And once I got making notes and going through and trying to plan my live stream today, we'll barely get through this one. So we're going to stay focused on Brian's 4 stages of recovery, all right? Not really Brian's. These are 4 stages of recovery, but Brian's added his insight to it, okay? Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not nothing. I'm just a guy that's been there, done that, all right? Been drunk, been sober, healed, live a great life, blah, blah, blah. I've been there, done that. So I talk from experience, I talk from the heart, and I truly want to help someone. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. So feel free. Ask questions, shoot away. Got a few watching. Thanks, everyone. Dwayne's back. Matt, my good friend Matt. How are the cabs coming, Matt? And Larry and Pee-wee and Justin. Hi, Justin. All right, so the 4 stages I find are interesting. Some of this is boring. Get down to my notes. And so what they are, here, look at it this way. It's abstinence, withdrawal, repair, and growth. These are 4 things you're going to have to deal with in recovering from alcohol, all right? All of them. And all of them are hard, and all of them have their own battles and their own little glitches, okay? All of them do this. Remember, everyone who's listening and sharing and caring, I'm not preaching, I'm teaching. I'm just teaching for those who want to hear, and those who want to learn, and those who might want to find help for them or someone they love, all right? There's a lot of alcoholism going on, kills a lot of people a year, hurts more lives than that even, and the pain of an alcoholic and a family goes on for a lifetime, all right? I'm very blessed. My daughter was still pretty young when I quit drinking. She doesn't really remember me as an alcoholic. She only knows me as dad and the dad I am now. I'm very blessed about that. Very blessed. Okay, abstinence stage. Dropping it, quitting. Yeah, that's a bitch. Let me tell you. It's hard. It's very hard to quit drinking. So I recommend help. As I previously said in the beginning of my live stream, what I did, I went to detox and I went to 6 weeks in-house therapy. I recommend you do that. Highly recommend it. A matter of fact, I'd have never made it if I wouldn't have done that. Not that treatment is a magic wand for alcoholism. It's not at all. It's not. It's just an education. But it's also to help you keep from drinking while you're there. So now you're getting that alcohol out of your system, okay? So we're getting rid of that. But it gets you away from the friends and family. All right? You need both. You need away from them friends. You need it. You have to. 6 weeks ain't even long enough. And you need to get away from your family so you feel some pain and miss them and do some self-thought and thinking there, okay? You need to not be a tough man. You need to sit down and do a little praying, and you're going to need some forgiveness. You're going to need to cry, and you're going to need to heal. And you need to be away from that, I believe, to truly grasp all that, okay? So, I did a lot fighting through that. I came home from treatment, and I was lost. So I came home with treatment with the right attitude, though. I did. Rhonda and I seemed very good. She was happy I was home. I was happy to be home. I didn't go, whoo, got through that. I can go have a drink. I was serious. Did I know then even I was going to quit drinking for 15 years? Not at all. I did not know that. Okay? I just knew that drinking had cost me a lot. Okay? I knew it had hurt me and loved ones. And now I've been sober now for 6 weeks, right? So now, I've had all these thoughts of things I messed up bad. My divorce and raising kids and my mom and dad, blah, 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 all this. I knew I'd messed up. You know what I mean? So, the point I'm getting at with that is I hadn't drank in 6 weeks. We're just not going to drink for a while. We're going to see how this goes. And I had to fight through that. That's the point I'm trying to get across. This isn't easy. You're talking to a guy that went to the bar every day, 7 days a week, for many, many years, okay? That's what I did. I drank. That was my focus, my energy, my everything, all right? That's what I did. Why do you go dark on me? All right. Ron. Hi, Ron. 11 now, 3 today. Wow, busy day, Matt. My friend Matt is in calving season here in North Dakota, and he's having baby cows. So it's exciting for Matt. He's not the father. Just kidding. All right. So you got to keep busy when you get home from there, So I laugh about some of the stuff I did. So where I live, back then, there used to be this big greenhouse right outside of town, and I got all into flowers. My God, Rhonda would come home from work, and I'd have more shit planted around. I was making flower beds and flower gardens and things to hang on. When I had flowers everywhere, I built a whole new deck just so I could build in flower things in there, whatever you want to call it. The whole flowers would look nice. Oh, it was nice. The work I went through for flowers. I wonder what I spent on flowers. It was crazy. So I was a florist for a while. I don't know what you want to call it. All right. Well, I think between some of her comments and me getting bored with that, I kind of learned that flowers were getting boring, and she was sick of them. So then I went into birdhouse building. I started building birdhouses, all different types, sizes. I never built any real big ones, but little ones, little birds, old license plates for a top, and I made birdhouses. I made a couple, and I decided I probably wasn't going to be real entertained with that for a while. So then I decided I'd fix up some old furniture and try and make it look better. My brother had done some of that, had some nice furniture in his house, but I just wasn't patient enough for it, and I thought, why? I just wasn't that into it. I just wasn't that into it, so I did like one piece, and it didn't turn out all that great, and I thought, well, that's just wasn't worth it. And then there was the bird watching phase. Oh, yes, the bird watching phase, where I even bought the book. So I was literally out there. Here's me. If you knew me, this is hard to picture. If you knew me as a personality, if you honestly been around me, done stuff with me, to think of me as a bird watcher would truly crack you up. Because there's two things. I'm not patient at all. I'm not quiet. This is a lot of things that make me not a good bird watcher, okay? Trust me. But I went into it full force. Gun-ho. I was ready. So needless to say, the bird watching didn't last a long time, thank God. I got over that. That's when my life started to change a little bit. And I always talk about the marbles. Okay, well, kind of before the marbles, what happened was we went rummage sailing, my honey and me. And this is something on a Saturday morning we could do together. Didn't cost a lot of money. We weren't drinking. We were together. She was looking for some stuff for her. I was looking for stuff for me. We just went rummage sailing, and we enjoyed it. This got to be a Saturday thing. Still is a thing for us. Still is. We love going rummage sailing together. I've said it before. I made it on American Pickers by going to rummage sales. A lot of people don't believe that, but 80% of the stuff they saw and they bought from me, I got at rummage sales back then. True. All right? And then we get into my marble story where I got the marbles, and then I started peddling marbles online a little bit and learning all about marbles. That took a long time to learn about marbles. I bought like 2 different versions of marble books. I really studied stuff back after I got sober. I had to learn marbles. There's 4 or 5 big marble makers in America back in the 30s. You got to learn who made what, kind of your best estimate of it anyway. And certain marbles got names, and then there's sizes and blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot to learn about marbles. And you can get good money for one marble when you find that one particular marble, okay? So we'll leave that at that. That's what I was doing originally. My point is I had to keep busy, all right? I had to keep busy. Because before my mind was busy about when I could be drinking or what I had to do to have enough money to go drinking. How long could I go drinking when I go drinking? Blah, blah, blah. Drinking takes a lot out of you. I've said this a million times too. It's not easy being drunk, folks. It is not easy. If you think it's easy to be a drunk, I don't recommend trying it, but you're going to be in for a rude awakening because it is not easy. All right. So, under this phase, we have accepting your addiction. How are we doing on time here? I'm already talking too much. I got a lot to go through. I made some great notes on some of this stuff, and it is a ton of shit to learn here, I'm telling you. Accepting that you have an addiction. That's a big first step. You have to admit you're an alcoholic. You have to admit you had a problem. Have a problem, because at this point you still have a problem. You're not over it by a long shot. Some of these phases so there's 4 phases we got here. I would like to reiterate that just this one we're in right now, you're going to be going through this for a couple years, okay? So if you think you're getting over this quick and moving on with your life. Wow. We got the iPad going nuts over here. Moving on with your life, you're in for a rude awakening. It doesn't work that way at all, okay? So just this phase is a couple years. You have to admit it. You have to admit it to yourself, and you have to admit it to your family. That's a big step. You don't realize till you have to do it, okay? Okay, fine. You can go in the closet all by yourself and say, damn it, Brian, you're an alcoholic. It's different when you want to walk out and give your mom a hug and tell her you're an alcoholic. And then she goes, I know. Why didn't you tell me? I've been telling you. Ooh, don't do that. Okay? All right, you have to learn to use the letter I. I am an alcoholic. I have a problem. I need to change my life. I need to do better. I'm sorry. It doesn't quit. But for some reason, when we're alcoholics, we have a hard time with the letter I. We like going you all the time. We don't like saying I, okay? And you have to, at phase 1 of this whole game of recovery, is learn to use the word I. I'm not telling you this because it's out of a book, folks, or this is what some doctor said. I'm telling you this because if you truly want to find peace in your life and move on and not be addicted to alcohol, these are things you have to do. I'm not kidding you, okay? It truly is a full body experience. I don't know the right words for it, but it truly is. It takes a lot. You have to do a lot to quit. You do, okay? You have to change a lot of things in your life. You have to accept a lot of things in your life. You have to deal with a lot of things in your life. And that's just how you have to do it, okay? So I'm not pulling this out of my butt. This is real stuff that will really help you, okay? I mean that sincerely. You have to welcome self-honesty and reflection. I just talked about that using the letter I. That's how you do that. Use the letter I. Learning coping skills to manage cravings. Yeah, you go to treatment. I don't know. There's a lot of talk on cravings. I don't know. I don't know that after treatment I had cravings. Uh, Maybe a little bit. I remember I could think like, yeah, cold beer really tastes good right now. I remember thinking that. Is that a craving? Maybe it is. I don't know. Um, I miss my routine. I remember missing my routine. I mean, no, this is the time of day I should go be sitting right here, my spot in the bar, but blue, 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 and we're all shaking dice and drinking a beer and telling each other how damn hard we worked that day. It was all BS. Um, Join a self-help group. Well, okay, maybe I didn't really go that path. I didn't go to AA. I didn't really I didn't do that. So I don't know what to say about that. It was not how I healed. It's not the path I chose. That's a good path. Many people have found success doing that path, because here's why. You need to talk about it. You need to tell. Well, I'm doing that with you guys, but I've been doing it long before I decided to go blab it to the world, okay? You're not going to meet anyone around my circle of life that's only known me for 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, whatever, that isn't going to know I used to be an alcoholic. It's not hidden. I'm not ashamed of it. You're ashamed of your past, but I'm not ashamed of it. I was an alcoholic. It just was part of my life. I have to live with that, deal with that, whatever. It is what it is now. That's a dumb statement. I don't even know why I use it. I don't like that statement, but I just did it. So there. But I've been able to talk about it. Okay, I admitted it. It kind of started when I went on the Maybe it started more after my episode of American Pickers aired, because on there, I admitted on national TV that I was an alcoholic and I had recovered, and Antiques saved my life. It was kind of my whole story. If you watch season 20, episode 4 of American Pickers, just a hint. But anyway, and then a lot of people reached out to me, and it's amazing. It is an amazing thing in the world when you're honest about it, how many people you're going to meet that you didn't know had fought the battle themselves. And it's incredible, the people you meet. Some of the guy, I don't know what he wants people. I won't say that, but I met some really good friends. Some I spent some time with. I met some really good people by just me admitting my fault and my past addiction, have come to me and shared theirs. And I tell you what, you can find some good friends. Here's another thing in my key. Find your people. You have to find your people, okay? Once you find your people, you'll soar, man. I didn't know who my people were. I had to go out and find them. But once I discovered it, magic happened. That's when I truly healed. When I discovered I was totally addicted to and loved antiques, when I met antiques, when I met the people around antiques, when I met the people buying antiques and selling antiques, I found my people. Some of them drank, some don't, some are alcoholics, some weren't. That part doesn't matter. I found my people. These people were doing something in life that didn't require sitting 12 hours a day in a bar. All right? You gotta find your people. Developing healthy self-care habits. That's just a good rule in life. You should just do that. I'm good at some of it, not parts of others. Whatever, I'm gonna waste a lot of time on it. You gotta learn to say no. You gotta stay away from the slippery slopes, guys. You have to say no. I don't know what to say about that. Like when you get out of treatment and Jim Bob says, hey, let's go down to the tavern for karaoke tonight, that's probably not a good idea. I don't recommend that. Could I go to the karaoke now in a bar? Absolutely. It wouldn't faze me. It wouldn't bother me a bit. Back then, you're putting yourself in that situation. You just got to stay away. You have to learn a new life before you can implement any of that old life back in. I mean that. You have to find a new way. Believe me, when you come out of this, fog. You're gonna be so thankful for it. You're not gonna know how to act, but getting through that's tough, and it takes a long time. All right, it takes a long time. Here it is: letting go of friends and habits with the drinking. Letting go of friends. I've said this in damn near every live stream I've given when alcohol's the subject. That is the reason right there most fail. Right there, your friends is the reason you fail. You are not willing or not backboned enough to do it. I have, excluding a brother, a loved one, but I mean, if you're just talking out in the world friends, I don't want someone listening to get offended. I mean, there's people I know, but they weren't really alcoholics with me, and they see and talk to me now, blah, blah, blah. My point is, the friends I hung with when I drank, I don't talk to really any of them anymore. None of them. They don't want to see you better, man, because then you're better than them, and they don't like that. That's why the longer we drink, the more divier place we drink in, the more drunker people we drink with, because then we go, what are you bitching at me for? Look at him. You've been shit-faced since noon, yeah? The way it works. We dig ourselves as a bigger hole, and a bigger hole, so we don't look so bad. Giving up your friends. It's hard to understand at the time. It's hard to take. It's like, I wonder why they don't call. I wonder why blah, blah, blah. I wonder why this. They don't care. They don't care. They're not out for your well-being. All right? Very few. Very few. That's a tough one, your friends. Recognizing and understanding the risks of cross addiction. Yeah, don't give up one addiction for another. That happens to quite a few people. In the VA world, they're so good at giving you drugs for everything. Damn. They love dope, man. They don't want you to smoke. They don't want you to drink. They don't want you to do this, but they'll give you opioids out the butt. Watch what you're taking. Legal or illegal, okay? Know what they do. Know what they're for. And get off them as soon as you can. I mean that. We are an over-drugged society. I'm sorry if there's any doctors listening to me, but you're a bunch of damn pill pushers. All you do. You don't fix shit. You just push pills on people, okay? There, I got that off my chest. If you need a pill, take it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, learn what they're for. Learn what they do. Learn what maybe you can do so you don't have to take that. Because that'll preoccupy your time too. Anything to get your mind off booze is good for you. Doesn't need to be a pill. You could be going for a 3-mile walk, however many mile walk you got to go on so you're pooped, so you wouldn't want to do nothing when you get back. Whatever you do, take your dog. Remember last week, take a dog, or 2 weeks ago, whenever we talked about a dog, get a dog. I mean that. That'll change your life too. Developing healthy alternatives to drinking. Get a hobby. I don't know what your hobby is. I always talk about antiques because that's my hobby. It's not only my hobby, it's part of my income. It's a big, big part of my life. It's how I healed. It's how I met new friends. It's how I got on American Pickers. Antiques changed my life. But switch the antiques with anything can change your life, folks. I don't know what that is. A new relationship with your children, wife, whatever. Basket weaving. Learn to play the piano. How about, what's that thing? Organ or one of them? One of them. That ought to take you a while to learn, I would think. I don't know. I'm not no expert. Okay, I hit this and it goes dark. Don't do that. There's some people. I don't see any questions, though. Okay, that's all right. If I missed it, I missed it. Okay, now where are we at? So it's important to get a hobby. It's a must, actually. Plant a big garden. That takes time to plant it, time to care for it. You get to reap the benefits of it. You need to get more time. Learn to make the homemade tomato paste and tomato sauces. Get into all that. It's fun stuff. You know, my brother does that. It's fun. It's delicious, too. My path was antiques, but It doesn't have to be antiques. It's whatever your passion is inside you. Maybe when you were a kid or whatever, there's a passion. There's something in you that you want to learn more of, explore. It could be exploring, hiking, learning, whatever. I like learning now. It seemed like such a problem when I was in school. Now I like learning all the time. I want to learn where that is or learn about that. And, my antiques, I study them a lot. I buy not so much anymore. I mean, I've been around this game a long time now, but back in the day when I didn't know shit and I was in love with antiques, I'd buy an antique, I'd haul it home, I'd set it on the living room floor, and I'd pick up my iPad and I'd learn everything I could learn about that antique. That's what I did. Then I decided what I wanted to do with it. Keep it, put it away, put it in my depot, kind of hoard it more or less. Maybe I want to sell it, make a couple of bucks, whatever. I had all kinds of fun with all that learning. Viewing yourself as a non-user. That sounds simple, but it's weird to think of because you've been an alcoholic now for a long time. You've been drinking for a long time. So to think of yourself as that you're not going to drink, it's hard to grasp. It's hard to take that in, okay? But that's what you have to do. You have to get that whole phase of your life out of your head. You can't forget about that phase of your life, but you have to forget about that you're a drinker or whatever. You can't think about it. I remember early on, sometimes thinking, boy, I went to work for a really good local contractor for a long time once I got sober, and he helped me get my life straight and get my finances straight, and good things happened while I worked for him. My life grew. I matured. My relationship grew. Everything got better. My life just slowly, steadily got better because I did the right things. I went to work. I paid my bills. I saw my daughter. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? I don't know what I was going with that, but my life got better when I did that. So change your ways. View yourself as, I know what I was going to say about it. But early on, be a gazillion degrees here in North Dakota, putting up a big steel building, and maybe a couple guys after work talking with a person having the building put up that we're building it for, and they all have a beer together, and you would think, I wouldn't mind having a beer right now. And you can't. Okay? You just can't. You can't. And guess what? All that time and them people, no one ever questioned me. No one ever belittled me. No one asked me why you don't drink. None of that. It's all in our head that it's going to be this big major. The only people that have a problem with you quit drinking are the people you used to drink hard with. That's the only people that are going to have a problem with you not drinking. Nobody else gives a shit. And that is something you have to learn. I'm telling you it, but you won't believe it till it happens to you. That's some truth right there, folks. That's some truth. Nobody cares. And they shouldn't, okay? Like I've said it on my other, I don't care if you drink. It doesn't bother me at all. I do not look down on drinkers. I was a drinker for a long time. I have family members that have a drink here and there. My daughter has a drink, and she should. She's 22 years old. She goes out with her friends. There's nothing wrong with having a drink, folks. That's not what this is about. It's about being an alcoholic, okay? You don't want to be an alcoholic. Having a drink is fine. Being an alcoholic is a problem. All right, we got that off my chest. You're going to struggle to come to terms with addiction. So then you get into the why me shit. Why me? Why can't I just have a beer after work? Why can't I go do that? Why can't I go drinking with them? Why? Okay? You're going to go through that whole phase. I did. I don't know why. I don't know why some of us become alcoholics, some of us don't. I don't think it's hereditary. That's what my personal thought. I don't know. I think it's more, but see, I don't fall into this next category either. I don't think it's hereditary, and I also don't, but I do think it has a lot to do with your upbringing. And if you're brought up and everyone's shit-faced and drinking and they can't have any kind of family gathering of friends without buku booze everywhere, you're probably going to be in that same trap as an adult, okay? I was not raised that way. my dad would have a drink. My mom and dad would have a drink every now and then. We used to curl. It's a northern thing. My dad would have a drink at a Bondsville, but my folks were not drinkers really. I mean, I actually very rarely seen them drink. They just didn't drink that often. They didn't. Nor did my uncles there. I just wasn't around it. It isn't. When I grew up, I wasn't in a family environment where there was alcohol everywhere. Matter of fact, there was hardly ever alcohol somewhere. Okay. So, I don't think it's hereditary, really. I do think it's how we were raised, but that didn't work for me. For me, so my path to alcoholism, I believe, was I drank in high school, which most of us did. I don't think I drank excessively in high school. I don't think it was a problem in high school, especially my senior year, because I had a girlfriend my senior year, and I don't recall a special night, some big thing. Yeah, I probably had some beer. But as a rule, when we went out on normal dates or running around, I don't recall us drinking. It wasn't an issue. So I drank in high school, but not excessively. Okay, now I got in the service. We drank hard in the service. But I also think when you go to college, right out of high school, I think you drink pretty hard when you get there too. You got away from mom and dad, you got some freedom. I got away from mom and dad, I got some freedom. I think it's fairly common, okay? Now, in college, you graduated, you had to get a real job. You might have fallen in love with college. You might have got married now. You might be starting a family. You got a lot of responsibilities, okay? That didn't really happen to me. I went to war. All right? So I got to party and have fun, then I went to war. Some people handle war better than other people. I didn't handle it that well. I saw some stuff I'd rather not seen, okay? And I didn't know at the time that it was haunting me that bad. I went back to war. I mean, I went back to back. And, okay, we're not talking about PTSD this time, alcohol. But all this piled up on me, okay? All this. So then when I got out, now I've been drinking hard in the service. Now I have post-traumatic stress disorder, which I didn't know I had. But I'm using alcohol as a medication, basically. And I was drinking daily. And I've said this 1,000 times before. The more you drink, the more you got to drink the next time, because we're trying to get that same level in our brain, and we keep fighting the same damn battle, okay? So that's where that goes. It's a tough road, all right? All right. Okay, let's just skip down. This whole phase, you know, people do crazy shit. They think they got to change your whole life. I don't know that you need a new wife, a new town, a new job. That's what some people think when they want to recover from alcohol. I don't think, fix your old life. Fix your old life. I think that's far more important than trying to get a new everything in your life. You're trying to make a clean slate and start over here, but you haven't fixed why you had a problem back here. That's hard to learn, but you're not going to heal till you fix what happened back here. You have to admit it. You have to say, you have to live with it. You got to go through recovery. It takes years, folks. It takes years, okay? Recovering from alcohol is not a, I'm better, okay? If you just quit that easy and you never want to drink again, you probably weren't an alcoholic. You were just like I don't know what I want to call you. You just drank hard for a month or a year or something. I don't know. Okay. All right. The next phase. This I learned in alcohol school. It's called PAWS. Post-acute withdrawal syndrome. Okay? A lot of shit happens to you on this. I did learn about this in alcohol school. It's called PAWS. While the absent stage of withdrawal causes mostly physical symptoms, you're going to experience a lot of psychological and emotional symptoms. You're going to miss your friends. You're going to miss your old routines. You're going to miss some of your habits, okay? Remember, if you did go to treatment and you haven't drank now for a few months or whatever it is, you don't need alcohol. Your brain might think you need alcohol, but you don't need alcohol. It ain't like, You don't need it. You got that. It's out of your system, okay? There's no alcohol in your system no more. You've been away from it long enough. Your brain wants your old life back. It was easier. That's the problem with us. We always take the easy route, okay? I'm running out of time. You probably post-acute withdrawal syndrome, you're probably looking at 4 years roughly before you've tackled a lot of these issues. Okay? No, I don't mean all these. When I say years going on, it doesn't necessarily take, it's not 2 years, 4 here and there. I mean, a lot of these things coexist with each other. You know what I mean? They kind of run together. So it's a lot to deal with. Some deal with some parts quicker than others. Some it takes longer. It's all fine. I'm telling you, I'm blessed. I really believe my life changed, and I soared when I discovered antiques, and I ran with that. That's when I met new friends. That's when I became alive again. I got excited about something. I had fun. I had fun in life again, and I hadn't had fun in life in a long time. I hadn't had fun in life in a long time. And now I finally was having fun again. And that's the best medicine in the world, folks. Laughter, love, happiness. It's the best medicine. There's no medicine that can beat that. None. All right? And when we're alcoholics, you're missing out on all that. You might not think you are, but you are. Okay? So I don't think you're going to have a ton of cravings anymore. I mean, you might. It's going to be a hot, blustery day if you were a beer drinker and someone like, nice, cold, whatever. You might look at that and go, that looks good. But you can't, okay? My other bitch, too, about people I see fail and they turn to NA. That's bullshit, too. NA is another slippery slope you should stay away from. That ain't doing nothing. There's a tad of alcohol in it, so, you know, somewhere in your brain's picking up that little little bit of alcohol you want, and it's giving you the sensation of drinking. Then it's giving you the false thing, well, I just drank that and it didn't bother me none. Well, yeah, it's an NA. So maybe you might start thinking you can have one. Well, there you go. Once you think you can have one. Once you think you can have one, you're done, okay? They say, I didn't do that. 15 years, I haven't had a drink. All right, where are we at? Anxiety. I had anxiety. I don't know if it's all from recovering drinking or PTSD. I still deal with a little anxiety to this day, and I haven't drank in 15 years. So I think it was twofold for me with PTSD and alcohol. So alcohol isn't an issue in my life anymore. PTSD is somewhat still, so I still can get anxious. Trying to read some of my notes on here. I learned to be honest, yes. Irritability, yeah, you're going to get crabby when you sober up. You just are, because for a lot of reasons, you're gonna be now learning and realizing some pain you caused people, some hurt you caused, and instead of blaming them for it, you're starting to realize it's your fault. That hurts. It'll make you irritable. You don't like your new life yet? You don't? You were happy being an alcoholic. You don't like this new sober life because you haven't found your people yet. Once you find your people, then you won't be irritable about that no more. Trust me. Varying energy. Yeah. People go from highs and lows. I think in general in life we can do that. I think in life you have to march out and try to be positive. I think it can be easy to get into a slump or I don't know the word I'm looking for, but you don't get bummed out. I think you have to take that extra step. You have to put that foot forward. You have to give that helping hand or smile. And I think you have to fight for that a little bit, okay? You can have little enthusiasm, yes? Once you find sobriety, you're not going to be real enthused, okay? because you're not happy. So it goes with the last statement. You're not going to be enthused. It takes time. It just sucks. When you sober up, it just sucks right then, because you still got everyone pissed off at you because they still know you as a drunk. And in my case anyway, they don't believe you're going to stay sober. So, I mean, they're still keeping their guard on you because they don't believe you. And rightfully so. I mean, they watched me lie about drinking for God knows how long. So why I've proven myself as a liar about it for so long. Why all of a sudden when I say, well, I'm sober now, they supposed to just bow down and kiss my butt? No, folks, you're on for a long road there. You have to earn all that back. You have to fight for it, ask for it, and earn it. Okay? That's the way that works. So your enthusiasm is going to be low because life sucks. Then people still mad at you. You don't have your friends at the bar right now. They're mad at you for quitting. Everyone's mad at you. All right? So that's why we fail. That's why it's so easy to go back to drinking, because everyone's pissed off at you. And here inside, you're trying to do the right thing. Ooh, there's that irritability. There's that anxiety. That's where it all comes from. We're lost. You need someone to talk to. You need someone to hug. You need someone to cry on, folks. You got to do all the above. Every last one of them more than once. Okay? Your life will slowly... Remember, you quit drinking abruptly. You had to, right? You had to. Don't be sorry about that. It's the step you had to take. But now you got to take baby steps building a new life back up. You have to build a new life. Yes, you do. All the way around, you have to regain trust with your wife or your husband, your kids, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your coworker at work, whoever it is. You need to rebuild all that. It takes time. It's not easy. Anyone who says it is lied to you about recovery. It's tough. This is a tough phase. Post-acute withdrawal. In alcohol school, the term, they just go by pause, okay? Remember that, pause. It'll haunt you. This is where most fail. They get the detox, they get the treatment, they get home for a while, they start doing better, and then this shit hits them. Past. Remember the past. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. It didn't bother me at war. It bothered me after the war. Okay? Post. I can just harp on this, and I don't know if I'm harping on it a way to get through, because this is where you're going to fail. This is where you got to have some cojones, and you got to be a man, and you got to stand up and do the right thing. This is where you'll fail, okay? This phase right here. Because you can't take it anymore. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be crabby. Everyone else is still pissed off at you for being an alcoholic, even though now you're thinking in your mind, I haven't drank in 4 months, 5, 6, whatever. 8 months, however long it takes to get to this phase. Okay? So now on the backside, you got to work on them issues. Like you don't got enough going on the way it is. Now you got to deal with anxiety and emotional breakdown. All right? You got to have a friend. You got to have someone who relates, someone to talk to. Someone who will hear you, who you're able to bring that deepest feeling out. I've said this before. I'm not embarrassed to say it again. I didn't do group things, really, for my treatment, but I did do a psychiatrist for PTSD, which often would lead talking about alcohol in there too. And I met good ones, bad ones. Some I could talk to, some I couldn't. The VA switches around. But boy, when you met someone you could click with, it was kind of magical once you got used to it and once you did it. And I remember talking to this one kind of early on. I hadn't talked to many. I'm pretty clammed up about both, about PTSD and alcohol. I wasn't saying a whole lot. Anyway, the one I was getting, I don't remember his name. He moved on. I liked him. And then one day I just couldn't get myself together. We got talking and I wanted to cry, and I couldn't get myself together. I was embarrassed. I wanted to shut the damn thing off and go away. I was embarrassed. And he let me be, and all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe it was only a few minutes, I don't really know. And all of a sudden I heard this voice over the computer say, "You're finally beginning to heal, Brian." And I'm like, what? You're finally beginning to heal. And he was right. The man knew what he was talking about. I had so much pain and emotion built up on me. I personally think me more than most. I was fighting two battles. I was fighting a war still in my body and in my mind. I seen the physical scars on me when I shave every day. And I was fighting alcoholism. I was fighting losing my family. I was fighting losing my parents. I was going down. This soldier was going down. And when I decided and when I accepted the help and I tried to fight through it, it got hard again. It was a new battle. I was fighting a war again, and I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it. You start having bad thoughts. And he helped me. He helped me through all that. My woman to still this day saw me cry, held me, watched me get mad, watched me get pissed off over nothing. She's seen PTSD and alcohol at its finest. She watched me heal. She watched me recover. She quit drinking because I quit drinking. That helped. Probably a game changer, actually. Lots of things need to happen for you to recover, folks. I'm going to quit on that one today, I think. I don't know. That gets me emotional. I had a lot of thoughts and a lot of care for people about all this, you guys. I truly do. I feel for the soldier. I don't know what that soldier saw, but I know how he feels. I don't have to see the same thing. I know how he feels. And only a soldier can relate to that. A combat soldier. A real combat. Not just a few bombs going over your head. Being shot at. That shit. I can talk to an alcoholic. I don't know what he messed up in his life, but I know how he feels. Does that make sense, everyone? I want to help. I want to be there for you guys. I want to help you through this. I want to help. This live stream isn't just about alcohol. It isn't just about PTSD, depression. It's about life. It's about just being better. And it's about antiques too. But I think we can learn a lot together. I really do. I really feel we all have some battles in us that we need to work through. You know, I got hit with a double battle with the PTSD and alcohol, but I think other battles have some personal battles too with family and bad things happen. Bad things happen, and these things can cause, of no fault of your own, bad things happen too in life, okay? Some people handle them things better than others. Some don't have that shoulder to cry on. Some don't want it, some don't want the shoulder to cry on. There's lots of scenarios out there that get us in a bad spot where we might turn to the easy way out in addiction, whether it's pills, alcohol, whatever that addiction is. It doesn't really matter. We all got to fight through and get better about it, right? Pause. Post-acute withdrawal. This is where you're going to fail. This is where you have to roll up your sleeves and you have to fight for the right to be sober, man. It's not a simple game. It's not. You will struggle. You're going to want to fail because we always take the easier route. Okay? For one time in my life, maybe it was the Army training, maybe whatever, I didn't fall for it. I didn't take the easy route. I fought through all this. And I made it. I succeeded. I've come out on the other end smiling. I'm living a blessed, good life now, and I'm happy. But I think a lot of us need help finding that sunrise, finding that light. I do. So in our line under this post-acute withdrawal, you got your mood changes, your anxiety, your irritability, your varying energy, your low enthusiasm, your disrupted concentration. You know why you have disrupted concentration? Because you're not concentrating on your new life. You're too damn worried about your old life. You're hung up on and understandably so. You know, we're all in different phases of life. How long you lived as an alcoholic or in addiction of any kind. You can't just throw that out the door. The memories aren't going away. Them people aren't going away. You have them friends. You have them memories. You have them thoughts. So that's why you have low concentration, because you're lost right now. You haven't fully embraced your new life. You haven't let go of your old life. Okay? It's a tough, tough phase. It truly is. I added tremors to this. Now, I think tremors on the alcohol side probably happened in the first 2 years, not up to 4 years, but I have PTSD, so that kept it running on me. And that's where you can call it anxiety or tremors. So what happens to me, I blame it now completely on PTSD, but I can get a feeling, overwhelmed feeling that I'm scared. I don't know, I have nothing to be scared of. I'm in a totally safe place. There's no one out to harm me. There's nothing bad happening around me. Nobody's mad at me. Nobody's looking for me. But I feel like something bad's going to happen. I feel like something bad's going to happen, and I get my guards way up. You know? That happens to combat soldiers. But it happens in alcoholism too. You start getting that anxiety. You're missing that life. You're missing that things aren't right. Okay? You have to fight through all that. And you need help with some of that. You need someone on your side. And not necessarily just a loved one. You might need some professional help with that. I did. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I did. I needed that help. And all that, you know what? Them two didn't have no damn magic wand. But you know what they did have? They had the ability to get me talking. And that's really where I started to recover too. When I started talking about it, when I started opening up about it. So right now I'm looking at some devices, talking to I don't know how many people, but I'm able to tell you my downfalls. I didn't do that years ago, okay? I wasn't that type person. There was a friend, he's on there, hi Mike. There was a friend I saw on here who knew me a long time ago. Now, this friend knew I was in the service, and I think he knew I'd been in the Gulf War and Iraq, but I don't think he knew much about what I did or what I saw, because I didn't talk about it. Okay? I didn't talk about it. I met people now in the last 5 years of my life that have known me for a long time. That's, not knowing me like real close, knowing me, but as acquaintance that knew me that didn't even know I was in the military. So I didn't live that life. I didn't go around saying I was in the Army. Okay, and back then I didn't advertise it either. I didn't wear any insignia hats or nothing like that. I didn't do that because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want you to ask me a question about it, okay? Alcohol kind of works the same way too. You don't want no one to know, but people know, all right? So that helped with my alcohol too, talking to people about it, all right? All this built on my recovery. You know, finding my people, I built on that. Admitting I was an alcoholic or talking to it about someone who knew me back then now. All this strengthens me and makes me a better person. I just get better and stronger all the time. I have no fear of drinking again. There's a lot of people that are not able to say that because they haven't quite climbed the ladder to the top yet, folks. And you need to. Everything I went through today, it is important you deal with and go through. It's important you do that. Otherwise, half-assed don't work in this game. All right? You have to do it. People worry about their friends and family. That'll all come back to you as long as you're dedicated and honest. All right? Yeah, I got to talk for another half hour on this whole page, so I think we're going to have to make this a two lesson deal. I was going to probably hop back to a different subject next week, but I think we're going to do, so that was phase 1 and 2 of recovery. We're going to do 3 and 4 next week. Repair stage and growth stage. All right? I'm still in a growth stage. I don't think that ever shuts off. But once you're in the growth stage, woo! Life's sailing, kids. You're having a good time. All right? Without alcohol, without drugs, without any addiction. Well, I'm kind of addicted to antiques. But that's okay. All right? That's okay because antiques did more than just make me find my people too. Antiques made me work harder. Antiques made me work smarter. I wouldn't own my own business. You'll love this. I wouldn't own my own business if it wasn't for antiques. So you know why I own my own business? I had a good job. I have breakfast with my old boss every morning. I like him. I like his family. He has a good business. He runs a good company, and we built great things. But you know what? I couldn't go to the auction on Wednesday. I couldn't go to the auction on Friday. And some of them, a lot of other guys couldn't go because they worked too. So then the guys that could go got all the good shit. And that pissed me off back then. And I didn't like that, all right? We were a small crew. Honesty is a big part of healing your whole body. So I ain't going to lie. I'm not going to weasel out on stuff. So you needed me there. So you just go to work, right? So I had, as my passion and as my love for antiques, and as I started selling more antiques and collecting more antiques of my own, I had to decide how you're going to keep doing that. So a lot of things had happened. I'd started I was a busy guy back then healing. Busy. I had a full-time job, a good job. I was fixing my life. I was paying my bills. Rhonda and I were driving good vehicle. Life was going good. I was getting caught up on my child support. Everything was flowing, all right? Now, I need money for antiques. So I started mowing everyone's yard. I started shoveling everyone's snow. I'd shovel snow off their roofs, their driveway, their sidewalk, whatever. I mowed the cemetery. I mowed the churches. I did all this extra stuff. Now, that money became instant treasure money, I always called it. Plus, I'd sell treasure sometimes, and that became treasure money. So sometimes I had a lot of treasure money, then I could buy big treasure. All right? Sometimes big treasures are expensive. Okay? So I learned this in the antique game that I needed more time and I needed more money. So I found a way to make a living on my own, and it worked out very well. I am blessed. I had the dedication and I had the discipline to do it. Some people don't have that either. You gotta get out of bed and go to work. So I became an independent crop adjuster. So I'm not working 9 to 5 for a crop company. I get claims and I go deal with them. And then I own my own septic pumping business. So I plan my days. Winters are slower than summers, falls are the busiest, blah, blah, blah. So I did a lot. So I would have flexibility in my life to do some other things. And that's been wonderful for me. It really has. Been wonderful for some loved ones too. Someone's calling me. We can't take it right now. We're live. Dang it, people. All right. So let's see if I got any questions today. Not seeing any. So I think we're going to wrap it. We're going to do phase 3 and phase 4 next Tuesday because there was just too much to go over, wasn't it? So remember to love me, share it, follow, like, let people know. Let's all grow together. I thoroughly enjoy doing this, so help me, keep me excited, to keep me positive and going on this. It's good for all of us. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to share it. All right, I think we're going to call her a day on that, folks. We're going to let her go. All right, see you next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Bye.